Welcome to all of you. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot getting ready to do a collective reading inspired in particular by the variety of movements that are occurring for the planet Venus. There are three particular aspects which are framing my meditations. And the key word that has been coming to me is vulnerability. So we're looking at Venus trining sextile, which is a positive energy of grace, ease, support. Venus is sext or in conjunct with the planet Chiron or the asteroid Chiron. And that's talking about the unusual, unexpected ways the lightning illumination revelations that come about in our various journeys to healing. And finally, Venus is in opposition to Saturn. And this is how we are building, how we are grounding our energy, how we're sorting the lessons learned, the energy expended, and surrendering to the value that we've been able to extract from our experiences. So I know that's a lot, but this has been a meditation that has been evolving over a number of weeks while I have been taking a little break. So I first pulled an oracle card from the Seed and Sickle, the strawberry plant, number 39. This is one I haven't pulled before. 3, 9 reduces to the number 12, which is the number of the hanged man, which reduces to the number 3. And this is the Empress. The Empress and the hanged man are 2 octaves of the theme of love. The Empress being the power of love, the balance, the value, the worth, the energy that is expended in creating and expressing oneself in a loving and supporting way. And 12 is about sacrifices that are needed to make as we begin to work in a variety of relationships or on efforts that require us to think larger, to see more, to step back in a way that allows us to glimpse the bigger picture. So there's already a lot of information that's coming through. The strawberry card, the Seed and Sickle, has 2 guidebooks, one for the dawn and one for the dusk. This is particularly relevant to this time of year when these are widely understood in a variety of cultures to be times where the veil is thinnest. And I'm first starting with the Dawn guidebook. Strawberry. It feels like you've been chipping away at a situation forever, and no matter what you do, you just can't seem to make headway. Don't be fooled by the odd occasion on which it seems like something might be about to change if you just wait a little bit longer. There's a reason why things have been so reluctant to move. Put out your feelers and enjoy a change of tact. A new angle will benefit you here. I'm also going to read the Dusk guidebook. And this reads, like the strawberry plant, it seems bent low. Its stems bend low with sweet, bountiful fruit. You're experiencing an abundance in your life right now. You are rich in your emotional capacity, your material gains, and your spiritual learning. You've earned every bit of reward that is coming to you now that you are near the end of your journey. Be generous with this wealth and provide support to others who are not yet reaping this harvest. This will be returned to you one day threefold. Interesting. So what is coming out for me is this broadened emotional capacity. Also, this willingness to work through something that is perhaps something you have a great deal of faith in, and yet you are moving forward, pouring your effort in, and it doesn't seem to be moving in ways that you would have expected it to. So this in and of itself is causing you to step back perhaps and pause, to rethink, re-strategize, and understand what it is that you actually desire for the present. And I think here many of us are uh, recommitting to what it is that we want. That has changed from when you perhaps began a project, a journey, an effort, a relationship. You had a very fixed idea, perhaps, of what it was you thought that was the end, the destination, and you're now rethinking that in a different way. We're going to start with the present before we look at the past and then the future. And in the present, we have the Page of Cups, and this is speaking to this open heart. And I do feel like this open heart is a stage that you have earned, that you have consciously willed yourself to be in, moving from your heart, allowing your feelings and emotions to inform you about the value of a situation or the stakes of what is on offer, so that there is more to gain from a situation in the present that you formerly believed. In fact, I feel that many times, for many of you, this can relate to current relationships, friendships, relationships with family, romantic relationships in which you are rejecting the past. You recognize that you no longer want what you had in the past, but that you have worked at releasing the fears, the anxiety about what it is that you desire and want. And that includes a way that you've been romanticizing the past, perhaps, or romanticizing what it is you believed you wanted. This is showing me a release of illusions. This is clarified by the Judgment card. And I'm using Benicio del Toro's deck. I don't remember the name of it, but in honor of Halloween, the Judgment card here is again indicating that this open-heartedness is not you stepping out innocently for the first time. This is you having gained a state of innocence and almost purifying your experiences of the heart in order to align yourself with your uh, destined path, with your particular expression. So this shows a conscious and willful innocence, faith, alignment with who you are based on your feelings. And this is really an incredible growth because you have been through so much. You have experienced such a range of challenges in this area. Yet you are at a place of understanding that every difficulty, every challenge has been uh, particularly worthy and informative around where it is you are moving towards. In the uh, deck that is the Night Before Christmas uh, Halloween deck, I have the Ace of Potions, and this is the Ace of Cups. This is really, really powerful energy. I could talk for a long time about just these three cards. This is really encapsulating for me the sense of not only surrendering to the past, in other words, embracing, owning your experiences of heartache, heartbreak, and the baggage that you've been carrying for a very long time as a result of that. And yet you're separating yourself from the past in this profound way that you understand that there is no going back. that the past can't hurt you anymore, but it's because it's gone. You can no longer go back to a pattern. There's no default. There's no falling back on the way things used to be. That's been destroyed. You've consciously destroyed it through your efforts to understand it profoundly and to create something entirely different for yourself. So you're actually, in a way, simplifying and clearing away so much of the baggage that you no longer need. You've gotten everything from it that you can. In the past, we have the Six of Cups, and this is indicating that there is something that you have reconnected to from your past. This can be a relationship, this can be a passion, and for many of you, this is something, a talent, a skill that you have uh, naturally been good at, that you automatically do. It's a form of expression that is uniquely yours, and perhaps you abandon the development of that passion where you didn't believe that you were able to take it. And this is reconnecting in some way to remind you that you have everything that you had before in terms of this particular skill or effort or talent or idea, and that you can bring that forward with joy. It is the feeling that is created when you express yourself in this way. It is the feeling that is generated when you connect deeply to this relationship or this passion that is the moment that is reminding you of the joy and pleasure, the exhilaration actually in expressing yourself in this authentic way. And this is clarified by the Six of Swords and the Nine of Potions, or the Nine of Cups. Interesting. So here we're getting a similar kind of repetition. You have worked very hard to heal the difficult challenges, betrayals, the dishonesty in your past, including the disillusionment. These are things you own and understand now that they have been reflected in your relationships in ways that in the past allowed you to blame others, allowed you to pin the fault on the other who was projecting and mirroring back your own dishonesty, your own inauthenticity, your own illusion. The Nine of Cups here is aligned with the Ace of Cups, in which you are understanding that the only true happiness is in satisfying yourself. And by satisfying yourself, that includes putting your best effort into something according to your own values, your own standards and ethics, so that you feel complete and content with your achievements, knowing that you have given it your best effort, that you have worked through the difficulties that wanted to stop you or put you off something that you know in your heart is for you. So this is filling out this idea that you have been consistently facing the truth, consistently looking for your own responsibility and difficulties in the past. And that process is allowing you to be content and satisfied with the path forward for you in embracing belief in yourself, self-love, self-respect. In the future, we have the Two of Swords, which is, I think, describing this idea that you are manifesting according to your feelings, your emotions from the heart. And in order to do that, you've had to separate yourself from or surrender to the lessons of the past, which then have allowed you to separate yourself. Understand that the past is no longer available to you as you are creating a future for yourself. You're creating a future that is based on the way that you understand you want to feel. It's not so much focused on the things, the outer things, the material evidence of your health, your wealth, your success, but is really focused more on uh, this idea that you have benefited. Your emotions, your feelings have been liberated as you have been through this process of uh, self-assessment, of honest facing your unconscious fears and anxieties, your confusion, your shame, your guilt about uh, relationships or experiences in the past. You've released those. And instead, you are vowing to understanding. You've been illuminated, enlightened regarding the future that you're creating that is based on your heart. What your heart is, where your heart is leading you. You have all the sufficient rationality, intellectual ability to understand and strategize the best way forward, but you are honoring the basis of your desire, it from the heart. In the past, the Eight of Pentacles, I think it's called the Eight of Wheels in this deck. This is about your hard work. This is about the work, the process of healing, the process of building from the ground up. This is an expression of the fact that you have created and developed something for yourself through your own efforts. This thing that you're building, this effort you're growing, this business, this home, this relationship, this professional experience is something that you have designed and aligned with your own personal development. You see them as linked inexorably, and it's interesting that the Judgment card is really crowning this effort and saying that the effort you've made has given you the ability to make the decisions appropriately for you. You are in a position to recognize that you are on the path of your destiny. And with that knowledge, you are content to put your effort wholeheartedly into improving your skills and the conditions as a preparation for the opportunities that are with you now. The Page of Needles is the Page of Swords. And many of you understand how much I appreciate the Page of Swords, the Page of Needles here. Tim Burton has such a lovely, joyous expression, even in the creatures and ghouls, goblins that he creates. Here you are recognizing that you have just scratched the surface, literally, of the path of the deep talent, despite the many years of experience that you're showing me you've devoted to a particular effort. You understand that you are just getting started. This is really a beautiful way of acknowledging this path, this openness of heart and ideas and information, your willingness to research, look into the new avenues, fields of information, arenas of activity that you are able to look to for information, instruction, guidance that you previously were unable to consult. And this includes the way in which you are opening up your heart in a way that it is revealing infinite new arenas, avenues, ways of being that can divert you from the hand-wringing, the agonizing over your past, where it felt like you have done all you could. You have completed so many made your way through, survived so many difficult experiences that you had been tempted, and some of you still are tempted to say, I'm done. I'm over it. I'm finishing this off. I'm not going to push through on this path again. And yet, here you come to a place where you realize that there is no past anymore. That's fallen away. There is no default, no fallback. You've far advanced into this place of who you are, what you sincerely desire, and clarifying that in a way that allows you to grow, expand, experiment in entirely new fields of activity and knowledge. I am going to finish this reading, I believe, with a glyph card. And what flips over is rebirth. So I do feel like this is a beautiful summary of where you're landing in throughout this process, this way of separating yourself and releasing it, releasing that past, those alliances, the patterns that feel stuck, the sense of sadness and tremendous loss, the stripping away of illusions so that you have deepened your understanding of what it is that you have survived, overcome, and clarifying that it was not for you, but you had to live through that experience in order to understand how clearly that was not for you, how clearly you had surrendered your power in some way. And this really feels like a true rebirth for so many of us who have been working long and hard throughout the decades for some, in terms of working through the loss and owning responsibility for that. I hope this has been helpful to you. I appreciate your likes and your subscribes. I always love hearing your thoughts, any way that this resonated for you. It's always wonderful if you can let me know. Until next time, namaste.